Netherland, formerly Holland, is located in northwestern Europe with overseas territories in the Caribbean. It is the largest of the 4 constituent countries of Kingdom of Netherlands. Netherlands consists of 12 provinces. It borders Germany to the east and Belgium to the south with North Sea coastline to north and west. It shares maritime borders with United Kingdom, Germany, and Belgium. Official language is Dutch with West Frisian as a secondary official language in Friesland. Dutch, English and Papiamento are official in Caribbean territories. Most of the areas below sea level, known as polders, are a result of land reclamation that began in 14th century. With a population of over 17.9 million people, all living within a total area of 41,850 kilometers square. Netherlands remained neutral during World War I because the import of goods through Netherlands proved essential to German survival until the blockade by British Royal Navy in 1916. That changed in World War II, when Germany invaded Netherlands on the 10th of May, 1940. On the 8th of December, 1941, Dutch government in exile in London declared war on Japan but could not prevent Japanese occupation of Dutch East Indies. Soon after VE Day, Dutch fought a colonial war against New Republic of Indonesia. It is among the world's largest exporter of food and agricultural products, owing to its fertile soil, mild climate, intensive agriculture, and inventiveness. The 4 largest cities in Netherlands are Amsterdam, Rotterdam, The Hague, and Utrecht. Amsterdam is the country's capital, though national political institutions are located in The Hague. The oldest human, Neanderthal, traces in Netherlands, believed to be about 250,000 years old, were found near Maastricht. In Dutch Golden Age, spanning 17th century, Dutch Empire grew to become one of the major seafaring and economic powers. Science, military and art, especially painting, were among most acclaimed in the world. By 1650, the Dutch owned 16,000 merchant ships. The Dutch settlement in North America began with founding of New Amsterdam in 1614. In South Africa, Dutch settled Cape Colony in 1652. Dutch colonies in South America were established along many rivers in the fertile Guyana plains, among them colony of Suriname, now Suriname. In Asia, Dutch established a presence in India, Dutch East Indies, now Indonesia, Formosa, now Taiwan, and the only Western trading post in Japan, Dejima. During the period of proto-industrialization, the empire received 50% of textiles and 80% of silks import from the India's Mughal Empire. Caribbean Netherlands' total area is 328 kilometers square. Since the late 16th century, large polder areas are preserved through elaborate drainage systems that include dikes, canals, and pumping stations. Netherlands is geographically very low relative to sea level and is considered a flat country with about 26% of its area and 21% of its population below sea level, with exception of foothills in far southeast, up to a height of no more than 322 meters at Valseburg, and some low hill ranges in central parts. Much of the country was originally formed by the estuaries of three large European rivers, Rhine, Meuse, and Scheldt, as well as their tributaries. The southwestern part of Netherlands is a river delta of these rivers, Rhine, Meuse, Scheldt delta. Netherlands is actively preparing for a sea level rise due to global warming. The plan encompasses reinforcement of existing coastal defences like dikes and dunes with 1.30 meters of additional flood protection. Climate change will not only threaten Netherlands from the coast, but could also alter rainfall patterns and river runoff. Another 3 territories which make up the Caribbean Netherlands are designated as special municipalities. The average temperature in the Netherlands rose by more than 2 degrees Celsius from 1901 to 2020. Netherlands has 21 national parks and hundreds of other nature reserves. Wad den Sea in the north, with its tidal flats and wetlands, is rich in biological diversity and is a UNESCO World Heritage Nature Site. The Eastern Scheldt, formerly northeast estuary of River Scheldt, is Netherlands' largest national park with an area of 370 km². The average temperature in the Netherlands rose by more than 2 degrees Celsius from 1901 to 2020. Netherlands has 21 national parks and hundreds of other nature reserves. Wad den Sea in the north, with its tidal flats and wetlands, is rich in biological diversity and is a UNESCO World Heritage Nature Site. The Eastern Scheldt, formerly northeast estuary of River Scheldt, is Netherlands' largest national park with an area of 370 km². Anne Frank House, a writer's house and biographical museum dedicated to Jewish wartime diarist Anne Frank. Entire museum, which occupies 3 adjacent buildings on the street front of Prinsengracht 263 to 267, opened on the 3rd of May, 1960. It preserves hiding place, secret annex at rear of 263, with other buildings expanding exhibition on life and times of Anne Frank and an exhibition space about all forms of persecution and discrimination. Edam Lookout Tower. Art Museum is an art museum located on the banks of Amstel River in Amsterdam. Formerly a satellite of Hermitage Museum of St. Petersburg, Russia, the museum cut ties with the Hermitage after Russian invasion of Ukraine in 2022. Rijksmuseum, National Museum of Netherlands dedicated to Dutch arts and history, with 8,000 objects from total collection of 1 million objects from the years 1200 to 2000, among which are masterpieces by Rembrandt, Frans Hals and Johannes Vermeer. Van Gogh Museum. Museum Square. 1/3 of the world's exports of chilies, tomatoes and cucumbers go through the country. The Netherlands exports 1/15 of the world's apples. A significant portion of Dutch agricultural exports consists of fresh-cut plants, flowers and flower bulbs, with Netherlands exporting 2/3 of the world's total. Museum Square. Majority of Netherlands' population is ethnically Dutch. In 2022, the population was 74.8% ethnically Dutch, 8.3% other European, 2.4% Turkish, 2.4% Moroccan, 2% Indonesian, 2% Surinamese and 8.1% others. Significant minorities include Frisians 700,000, Jews 41,000 to 45,000, and Roma and Sinti 40,000. Museum Square. About 150,000 to 200,000 people living in the Netherlands are expatriates, mostly concentrated in and around Amsterdam and The Hague. Vondelpark. 90% of the total population are able to converse in English, 70% in German and 29% in French. Vondelpark. In 2020, Statistics Netherlands found that 55% of the total population declared itself non-religious. Catholics comprised 19.8%, Protestants 14.4%, Muslims 5.2%, and other Christian denominations and other religions like Judaism, Buddhism and Hinduism comprised remaining 5.1%. Oosterbeek in Gelderland. Arnhem is a city in eastern part of Netherlands, near German border. It is the capital of Gelderland province. River Rhine. Around half of all trips in the Netherlands are made by car, 25% by bicycle, 20% walking and 5% by public transport. Safari Park of Burgers Zoo. Arnhem lies approximately 15 kilometers from border with Germany, and to some extent the westernmost villages in Elten of Germany function as dormitories for people who work in Dutch city of Arnhem due to immigration of Dutch people from the region that were attracted by lower house pricing just across the border. Nelson Mandela Bridge. Den Helder occupies the northernmost point of the North Holland Peninsula. Royal Teso ferryboat service operates between Den Helder and nearby Wad Den Island of Texel to the north. Eindhoven. The Eindhoven Museum is an archaeological open-air museum which focuses on the region's Iron Age and Middle Ages. Inspirational. It is located in the Twente region of the eastern Netherlands. The east of the urban area reaches the border of the German city of Groningen. Giethoorn is a village in Overijssel with a population of 2,795 in 2020. As a popular Dutch tourist destination both within the Netherlands and abroad, Giethoorn is often referred to as Dutch Venice. Giethoorn has 176 bridges. In the old part of the village, there were no roads, though a cycling path was eventually added, and all transport was undertaken by water over one of the many canals. The lakes in Giethoorn were formed by peat digging. It became locally famous after 1958, when Dutch filmmaker Bert Hanstra made his famous comedy Fanfare there. Tourism has been an influence on the old traditional town. The village, still fully accessible only by boat, is one of several places commonly known as the Venice of the North or Venice of the Netherlands. Bovenweder Island. Gouda is famous for its Gouda cheese, stroopwafels, many grachten, smoking pipes, and its 15th century city hall. Its array of historic churches and other buildings makes it a very popular day trip destination. Groningen. Bertange. Castle te Wedde. Numerous canals, grachten, surround the city of Groningen, locally called Diep. Delfzijl. Eemshaven Poort. Eemshaven is a seaport in Groningen. Eemskanaal Canal. Groningen is the largest place as well as economic and cultural centre of northern part of the country. As of 2024, it had 601,347 population. Extraction in earthquake area. Leek. Giethoorn. Stad. Nienord. Right die Faven. Groningen was established more than 950 years ago and gained city rights in 1245. The city was founded at the northernmost point of the Hondsrug area. While the oldest document referring to Groningen's existence dates from 1040, the area was occupied by Anglo-Saxons centuries prior. Forum building. Today Groningen is a university city, home to some of the country's leading higher education institutes. The oldest archaeological evidence of a settlement in the region stems from around 3950 to 3650 BC, and the first major settlement in Groningen trace back to the year 3 AD. Haarlem, Grote Kerk, St. Bavikerk, Church. Cathedral of St. Bavo. Gravistenenbrug. Municipal Threater. Sparmy River. Popular places for summer homes were along the Spaarne in southern Haarlem. Boat travel along the Spaarne is still possible and has become a popular form of tourism in the summer. Sparmy River. Haarlem is located on the river Spaarne, giving it its nickname Spaarnestad, Spaarne City. It is situated about 20 kilometers west of Amsterdam and near the coastal dunes. Windmill de Adriaan. Haarlem has been the historical centre of the tulip bulb-growing district for centuries and bears its other nickname Bloemenstad, Flower City, for this reason. Rail passengers between Rotterdam and Amsterdam in spring can see blooming bulb fields on the route between Leiden and Haarlem. Haarlem Haarlem is situated at the northern edge of the Randstad, one of the more populated metropolitan areas in Europe. It is also part of the Amsterdam metropolitan area with a population of 167,636 in 2024. Every year in April, Bloemen Corso, Flower Parade, takes place. Floats decorated with flowers drive from Noordwijge to Haarlem, where they are exhibited for one day. In the same month, there is also a fun fair organized on Grote Markt and Zaanenlaan in Haarlem Noord. Other festivals are held on Grote Markt as well, in particular annual Haarlem Jazz and More, a music festival, Haarlem Culinaire, a culinary event, and biannual Haarlems Stripdagen, Haarlem Comic Days. Harderwijk. The Dutch national train network includes the HSL Zuid, a high-speed line between the Amsterdam metropolitan area and the Belgian border for trains running from Paris and London to the Netherlands. Hoge National Park. Lookout Tower to spot wildlife. National Park in Gelderland near cities of Ede, Wageningen, Arnhem and Apeldoorn. It is approximately 55 kilometers square, consisting of heathlands, sand dunes and woodlands. It is situated in the Veluwe, the area of the largest terminal moraine in the Netherlands. European robin. During spring, the wildlife population in the park consists red deer, roe deer, wild boar, mouflons, Eurasian wolves. Other species found in the park include foxes, badgers, and European pine martens. Most of the landscape of Park and the Veluwe was created during last ice age. The alternating sand dune areas and heathlands may have been caused by human utilization of surrounding lands. The park forms one of the largest continuous nature reserves in Netherlands. The park is surrounded by fences. There are 3 entrances, located at the villages of Otterlo, Hoenderloo and Schaarsbergen. Krolemuller Museum, Musonde Museum are located inside the park. Wandelroute Veluwe Posbank. Cycling is a ubiquitous mode of transport. Almost as many kilometers are covered by bicycle as by train. The Dutch are estimated to have at least 18 million bicycles. Cycling infrastructure is extensive. Busy roads have 35,000 kilometers of dedicated cycle tracks, physically segregated from motorized traffic. Busy junctions often equipped with bicycle-specific traffic lights. There are large bicycle parking facilities, particularly in city centers and train stations. The inland shipping fleet of Netherlands is the largest in Europe. Passenger boats in Netherlands includes a ferry network in Amsterdam, water buses and taxis in Rotterdam. Schiphol Airport, southwest of Amsterdam, is the main international airport in the Netherlands. Blooming heather. Zuiderheide National Park. Netherlands has had many well-known painters. In Middle Ages, Hieronymus Bosch and Peter Bruegel the Elder. Famous Dutch painters of 19th and 20th century are Vincent van Gogh and Piet Mondrian. Hilversum's blooming heather field. Located in the heart of the Gooi, it is surrounded by heathland, woods, meadows, lakes, and smaller towns. Hilversum lies 24 kilometers southeast of Amsterdam and 15 kilometers north of Utrecht. The town is known for its architecturally important town hall designed by Willem Marinus Dudok and built in 1931. Staveden Castle. Netherlands' train network is mostly focused on passenger rail services and connects all major cities, with over 400 stations. Trains are frequent, with 2 trains per hour on lesser lines, 2 to 4 trains per hour on average, and up to 8 trains an hour on the busiest lines. Kinderdijk. Windmills. Kinderdijk is situated in the Alblasserwood polder at the confluence of the Lek and Noord rivers. To drain the polder, a system of 19 windmills was built around 1740. This group of mills is the largest concentration of old windmills in the Netherlands. The windmills of Kinderdijk are one of the best-known Dutch tourist sites. They have been a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1997. Various architectural styles can be distinguished in the Netherlands. The Romanesque architecture was built between 950 and 1250. Gothic architecture was used from about 1230. Gothic buildings had large windows, pointed arches, and were richly decorated. Brabantine Gothic originated with the rise of the Duchy of Brabant and spread throughout the Burgundian provinces. Dutch Baroque architecture, 1525 to 1630, and Classicism, 1630 to 1700, is especially evident in the West. Other architectural styles are Art Nouveau, Expressionism, Vestigial, Traditionalism and Brutalism. Leiden. Gravensteen. Molen de Put Windmill. Efteling Theme Park. Cuisine. Leederdorp. Moorsport City Gate. Efteling Theme Park, Cuisine. Leederdorp. Leiden is a city with a rich cultural heritage, not only in science, but also in the arts. Leederdorp. One of the world's most famous painters, Rembrandt, was born and educated in Leiden. Leederdorp. Other Leiden painters include Lucas van Leyden, Jan van Goyen and Jan Steen. Lis. Keukenhof Gardens. Lis lies within the Duin en Bollenstreek, covers an area of 16.05 kilometers, of which 0.36 kilometers is water. Keukenhof Gardens. The most popular attraction in Lis is Keukenhof, open only during spring when the tulips are flowering. Keukenhof Gardens. Located at the center of the Dune and Bulb region, Holland's flower-growing region, Lis is also a major tourist attraction. During spring, when the fields around Lis are in a colorful bloom, hundreds of thousands of local and foreign tourists visit the area. The only remaining estate that was not removed for flower cultivation, Keukenhof, became world famous for its flower displays. Lis exports bulb flowers in large quantities to over 100 countries worldwide. Each spring a flower parade called Bollenstreek Bloemen Corso is held through the main streets of Lis. In August, the fantasy festival Castlefest is held in the gardens of Castle Keukenhof. Other places of interest are the museums. Museum de Zwarte Tulp, Black Tulip Museum, exhibiting the history of the Dutch bulb-growing region. Deva, a restored castle tower from the 14th century, and Castle Keukenhof, part of the Keukenhof estate that open year-round. Antonius van Paduakerk Church. City Hall. Parochie van de Heilige Michael. St. John Church. Valkenburg Castle ruins. Wilhelminabrug Bridge. Moss Forum. Middelburg, located southwestern Netherlands with a population of about 48,000. The old city moats are still there, as are two of the city gates, Koepoort Gate and Varkenspoort Gate. Part of 18th century moat and defence works, however, were demolished in 19th century to make way for a commercial canal that crosses Walcheren from Vlissingen to Veer. There are lavish 17th and 18th century merchant houses and storehouses standing along canals, of a similar style as found in cities like Amsterdam. The medieval abbey is still in use today, as a museum and as the seat of the provincial government. Sightseeing consists of the Abbey, Kuiperspeet, the Lange Jan, City Hall, Oostkerk. Muiderslot. Naarden is home to Dutch Fortress Museum, Grote Kerk in Marktstraat, Spaans-Huis. Naarden hosts the biannual Naarden Photo Festival and on Good Friday, a performance of Bach's Street Matthew Passion in the local church, which is called the Great Church or St. Vitus Church. Nijmegen. Hanseatic City Centre. Nijmegen became a free imperial city in 1230 and in 1402 a Hanseatic city. River Wall. Located on Wall River close to German border, Nijmegen is one of the oldest cities in Netherlands and the first to be recognized as such in Roman times. In 2005, it celebrated 2,000 years of existence. Train station. Its population as of 2024 was 187,011. The city is well known for the annual international 4 days Marches Nijmegen event. Some of the northernmost wineries in the world are found just outside Nijmegen, around Groesbeek, a suburban village southeast of Nijmegen. Rotterdam, Blakteren and Markthal. Rotterdam is in South Holland, part of North Sea mouth of Rhine-Meuse-Scheldt Delta, via New Meuse inland shipping channel, dug to connect to Meuse at first and now to the Rhine. Erasmus Bridge. Rotterdam's history goes back to 1270 when a dam was constructed in the Rot. In 2022, Rotterdam had a population of 655,468 and is home to over 180 different nationalities. Euromast Tower. Rotterdam is known for its university, riverside setting, lively cultural life, maritime heritage and modern architecture. The Cube Houses, Kitsch. Rotterdam is famous for its Lichtjenbaan 1952 by architects Breekie en Bekema, Paperclip by architect Karel Weber, Kubuswoningen or Cube Houses. Designed by architect Piet Blom 1984. Town Hall. Temperature rises above 30 degrees Celsius on average 4 days each summer, while night temperatures can drop below -5 degrees Celsius during winter for short periods of time. River Wall. Rotterdam is divided into northern and southern part by River Nieuwe Maas, connected by, from west to east Benelux Tunnel, Maas Tunnel, Erasmusbrug, a subway tunnel, Willems Railway Tunnel, Willems Bridge together with Queen's Bridge and Van Brienenoord Bridge. The city has 38 skyscrapers and 352 high-rises and has many skyscrapers planned or under construction. The top 5 of highest buildings in the Netherlands consists entirely of buildings in Rotterdam. Rotterdam has become world famous because of its modern and groundbreaking architecture. Throughout the years, the city has been nicknamed Manhattan at the Meuse and the architectural capital of the Netherlands, both for its skyline and because it is home to internationally leading architectural firms involved in the design of famous buildings and bridges in other big cities. It is home to 2 tallest buildings in Netherlands. Mastering with a height of 165 meters and the Zaanhaven Tower with a height of 215 meters. Rotterdam forms center of Richmond conurbation, bordering conurbation surrounding The Hague to northwest. They share Rotterdam The Hague Airport and light rail system called Randstadrail. Rotterdam forms center of Richmond conurbation, bordering conurbation surrounding The Hague to northwest. They share Rotterdam The Hague Airport and light rail system called Randstadrail. The skyline of Rotterdam also houses the 185 meters high Euromast, which is a major tourist attraction. It was built in 1960, initially reaching a height of 101 meters. In 1970, the Euromast was extended by 85 meters. At the end of 2020, the city has a record number of 2,503 Opzuma streets, which is mainly reflected in the construction of facade gardens. Municipality of Rotterdam is encouraging the construction of green roofs with an attractive subsidy for roof owners. The city's largest green roof is located on top of the Groothandelsgebouw next to Central Station. Texel Island. Den Hoorn Church. Texel Island is situated north of Den Helder in Wad Den Zee with a population of about 14,000. The All Saints flood, 1170, created the islands of Texel and Wieringen from North Holland. Texel forms the largest natural barrier between the North Sea and the Wadden Sea. Bird watching hut at Wadden Sea. The island is 23.7 kilometers long and 9.6 kilometers wide. Its surface is 162.00 square kilometers. The highest point of the island is Dune Bertisnol, which is situated in the dunes of Texel National Park, at 19.6 meters. Notable areas include De Slufter, where the tide comes in and meets the dunes, forming a marshy environment rich in both fauna and flora. In winter, birds of prey and geese take up residence. Slufter Valley. Lighthouse. Beach houses. Popular forms of tourism on Texel include cycling, walking, swimming, and horse riding. Farming, sheep, potatoes, dairy, tulips, and grain, and fishing, primarily from Oudtschild, are traditional. Transport around the island is typically by bicycle, bus, Texelharper, or car. The island has an extensive cycle path network. It is connected to the mainland via a ferry operated by Royal Teso from Den Helder, and by air via Texel International Airport. The ferry Texelstroom uses 80% compressed natural gas. The Hague, Grand Hotel Amrith Cahors. Japanese Garden Park Klingendale. Parliament Building in Binnenhof Castle. Peach Palace. Scheveningen Beach. Situated on the west coast facing the North Sea with a population of over 500,000. The Hague's coastal area includes the popular seaside resort Scheveningen. City life concentrates around the Hofriver and the Binnenhof, where the States General of the Netherlands is located. Because of its history, the historical inner city of The Hague differs in various aspects from nearby smaller cities of Leiden and Delft. It does not have a cramped inner city bordered by canals and walls. Instead, it has small streets in the town centre dated from late Middle Ages and several spacious streets boasting large and luxurious 18th century residences built for diplomats and affluent Dutch families. It has a large church dating from the 15th century, a city hall from the 16th century, several large 17th century palaces, a 17th century Protestant church built in what was then a modern style, and many important 18th century buildings. Utrecht's ancient city centre features many buildings and structures, several dating as far back as the High Middle Ages. It has been the religious centre of Netherlands since 8th century. Due to its central position within the country, it is an important hub for both rail and road transport. It has the busiest train station in the Netherlands, Utrecht Central. It has the second highest number of cultural events in the Netherlands, after Amsterdam. Castle de Haar, the former Utrecht main post office, built in 1924, is still in the city centre at Nude Square but is now serving as library. Another landmark is the old centre and canal structure in the inner city. Dom Tower. Utrecht cityscape is dominated by Dom Tower, the tallest belfry in Netherlands. Lexmond. Because of the role of Utrecht as a fortified city, construction outside medieval centre and its city walls was restricted until 19th century. Surrounding the medieval core there is a ring of late 19th and early 20th century neighbourhoods, with newer neighbourhoods positioned farther out. The eastern part of Utrecht remains fairly open. Uitgracht. The Uitgracht is a curved canal, partly following the ancient main branch of the Rhine. It is lined with the unique wharf basement. Uitgracht. It is lined with the unique wharf basement structures that create a two-level street along the canals. Schans Castle. Utrecht's inner city has largely retained its medieval structure, and the moat ringing the old town is largely intact. Utrecht Cathedral. Schans Castle. Utrecht's inner city has largely retained its medieval structure, and the moat ringing the old town is largely intact. Utrecht Resistance World War II Memorial. Vrieswijk. It is best known for its collection of historic windmills and wooden houses that were relocated here from the wider region north of Amsterdam for preservation. From 1961 to 1974, old buildings from all over the region known as the Zaanstreek were relocated using lowboy trailers to Schans. Two of the windmills in Schans are preserved on their original site where they were first constructed. The Zaanse Museum, established in 1994, near the first Zaanse Schans windmill, is located south of the neighborhood. This architectural reserve for Zaanse timber construction is a protected village scene because of its architectural, historical, and landscape value. It developed into an international tourist destination with several million visitors every year. It developed into an international tourist destination with several million visitors every year. The Zaanse Schans houses 7 museums: Weaver's House, Cooperage, Gisper House, Zaan Time Museum, Albert Heijn Museum Shop and Bakery Museum. Whole neighborhood is a popular tourist attraction. is a Caribbean island in the Leeward Antilles and is a special municipality of Netherlands. Its capital is the port of Kralendijk, on the west, leeward, coast of the island. Bonaire is a popular snorkeling and scuba diving destination because of its multiple shore diving sites, shipwrecks and easy access to the island's fringing reefs. As as of the 1st of January, 2023, the island's population totaled 24,090 permanent residents. % of Bonaire's inhabitants are Dutch nationals, and nearly 60% of its residents were born in the former Netherlands, Antilles and Aruba. Old slave houses were built in 1850. Over 200 caves on the island, though not all are easily accessible. Some caves are home to bats or blind shrimp typhlatia. Dutch Festival. Sinterklaas. Dutch festival held on the 5th of December. Saint Nicholas leaves gifts in children's shoes. On this occasion, Dutch drink hot chocolate milk and eat luxury variants of speculoos. Speculoos. Spices in speculoos are cinnamon, cloves, nutmeg, cardamom and ginger. Klomp, plural klompen, is a whole-foot clog from Netherlands. Klompen can be made from willow or poplar. The traditional all-wooden Dutch clogs have been officially accredited as safety shoes with CE mark and can withstand almost any penetration, including sharp objects and concentrated acids. They are safer than steel-capped protective shoes in some circumstances, as the wood cracks rather than dents in extreme accidents. Mash pot is a traditional Dutch dish made from a combination of potatoes mashed with one or several vegetables and typically garnished with sausages. Gevuld koek, filled cake, is a Dutch pastry consisting of a cake or cookie made of buttery dough filled with almond paste. Lekkerbekje is a Dutch fried fish dish. Deep in batter and deep fried, similar to fish and chips. Originally lekkerbekje only used whiting. Served with fried potatoes and tartar sauce. Limburg's vlaai is a pastry consisting of dough and a filling, traditionally associated with Limburg in Netherlands. Different varieties of fruit fillings, such as cherry, apricot, strawberry and plum. Tompoes is a rectangular bar of about 15 cm x 5 cm x 4 cm, consist of 2 layers of puff pastry sandwiching creme patisserie. Top pastry is a smooth and pink icing. During Koningsdag, variant of orange instead of pink icing. Hutspot is a dish of boiled and mashed potatoes, carrots and onions with a long history in traditional Dutch cuisine. Hutspot is also found in Indonesian cuisine due to their colonial ties. Consume on Leeuwarden's onset anniversary event every October 3rd in Leeuwarden.